and a little focus me RJB from RJB TV. And today we're going to be looking at Zone against Byul. Zone is a player who first appeared on the channel about a year ago. Maybe a little bit more than a year ago. I think somewhere in 2023 in December, I first discovered the player Zone when he went up, I think, against Brain, in fact. And he gave Brain a really difficult time. He gave Brain a really difficult time. And from that moment onwards, I wouldn't say a fan. Not yet a fan. But I was most certainly impressed. He was most certainly on my radar. He was most certainly a player I wanted to cast again more than just a couple of times. But I haven't really casted him all that much over the past year, because the replays are hard to come by. But I did find a couple of them. I did find a few of them. And here he is specifically playing against Byul here on the bottom middle of the map. Zone is on the 9 o'clock spawn location on the Protoss against Byul here on the name QWER and a whole lot of other numbers. Let's just ignore the numbers or the letters. It's letters, not numbers. Like, it means something on the Korean keyboard, I'm sure of it. Maybe it's just random stuff being pressed on the keyboard. Who knows? Who knows? I don't. He does, but I don't. So yeah, we have Byul here going for a Supply Depot Barracks Bull order, which is not something you very often see. Most of the time it's going to be a Barracks Supply Depot Barracks, but he did it the other way around. So that's kind of interesting to see that he... But actually it might have been a Barracks Supply Depot Barracks after all. Closer Supply Depot in the front, gonna go for a wall. Scouts the middle first, see if there's middle gates on the map. There's no middle gates on the map. Oh, we have a triple gateway after a Nexus from Zone, which historically speaking is not that strong against triple barracks into Stim. But this is gonna be double barracks into most likely Command Center, into Academy, into Stim, into factories or something. That's most likely what's gonna be, because he already has 400 minerals ready to spend on the Command Center, now on the way. He's not producing Marines at the moment. He's saving up minerals because he's, not feeling threatened at the moment. He is assuming that he can skip out on some minerals. And he might be correct, he might be wrong, because we do have Zealots now on the way from Triple Gateway. On Gaster in the back, Zone is pulling out a kind of funky build order that isn't exactly standard. He is getting himself ready for a bigger economy right from the start, and then going into a semi-gas build order where he's probably focused on getting all of gateway units out onto the map. Cybercore on the way, probably planning on going for the Goon range, but he might go for speed and Dark Temple. I really don't know. There's a lot of different pathways for him to go. The Marine production has resumed. Gonna have to finish that while they're in the front really quickly, otherwise the Zealots are gonna get into the base against only 5 Marines, soon to be 7. Yeah, the Zealots will easily win that if there wasn't a wall in the front. So Byul is more or less making his build order work. He's really trying to cut as many corners as he can to try and boost up his economy to be about as good as Zone's economy will be. Like, Zone went for a very early Nexus first. You can see it with his probe count, 25 probes against 20 SCVs. Byul has gotten his own fast command center, a little bit slower of course, because he has to get some other things first, but he got it pretty fast, and he's trying to stay on the exact same or close to the amount of workers that Zone has to not fall behind too much in terms of economy during the mid-game, because that is something that oftentimes does happen in Protoss against Terran, because Protoss starting out with the Nexus just has so many more probes, so much more fighting potential. But the downside of what Byul is doing is, of course, this exact thing right here. He only has double barracks, getting an engineering bay now. He's got a factory finished up there. He's really playing this on the least amount of units possible. There are risks involved. He cannot make a mistake. Everything has to be absolutely perfection here from Byul. The Stim is on the way, getting some medics there as well. Cannons coming up in the front for Zone. Zone has Robo and Citadel and a support bay there, and that's Robo number, that's a Templar's Archive. It's in fact a single Robo build order. Byul is trying to pull the Zealots into the supply depots to do massive amounts of damage, but not really working out there for him. because Zone is on top of everything. Zone is playing at 450 APM. That's pretty high. So he's retreating back home, going towards the cannons. Marines killed one single zealot, but did some damage to the other zealots, but the shields regenerate pretty quickly, so it wasn't really that too impactful. He's checking how many cannons there are and sees there's 2 of them. He could try to stim through, but it would never work. But he could maybe try to kill the zealots. But if he loses the Marines, he will be overexposed to this shuttle and the Reaver that are both on the way. Storm on the way. I really thought that Zone would maybe go for a much heavier gateway build order, but after he saw the triple depot there in the front, he decided to just pivot into a new direction. This new direction involves a lot more technology than before. So double robo, triple gateway, we got no cannons in the back yet. We have dropship on the way, tanks in the front. Still on double command center there. He's spending his gas and minerals quite quickly. He's on 30 on SCV, so he fell behind just a little bit more than he was. He was 5 to 4 behind. Now he's about 8 behind on Zone. So Zone is doing a slightly better job of producing those probes nonstop. We also have to keep in mind, Byul did make the scan, which does delay production just a little bit as well. Zealots on the sides there, just checking to see if there's any Marines giving vision. And yeah, there are 3 Marines giving vision. He just killed a Zealot there with some great micro as well. The Zealot there doing the exact same thing, trying to find Marines or SCVs on the map, giving vision off these minerals or gases for storm dodges, or, you know, just to have vision against the shuttles flying in. The Dark Templar, of course, comes in to kill the Marines. But first, we got a tank up there coming out from Byul. We have a Reaver in the back, ready to protect. We got 2 cannons, that's not too much. He's gonna try to do it anyway. He might not. It's a Marine and 1 tank. 2 Marines, 1 tank. That might not stay alive for long enough, but this is a very small amount of defense against a tank drop. Zone is kind of cutting it close. How much money he's spending on tank drop defense. Shuttle drop there on the bottom, gonna go right on in. Gonna fly over the bottom. Bottom is usually the best way to fly in. It's hard to see in the minimap. Goes in, loses the shuttle. Great snipe, instant snipe. The shuttles, of course, the turrets here on the side did help take down the shuttle. You really need something like a Corsair, which he has right here. 1 High Templar, 2 Zealots. We're waiting to go in. Zone is building up really quickly. He hasn't really done that much. It's really just been a focus on progressing his technology, his base, his economy, all in tandem. So this game has become a little bit more passive than I thought it would be. Scans the backside again. The side, he's not quite sure where to go in from with that dropship. He's keeping vision on the bottom corner. He's going in. Maybe he's gonna land right there. Oh yeah, he landed right there. Shoots once. Can he get a shot off on the tank? Gets a shot off on the tank, but kills only... Well, I wouldn't say only. He killed 13 probes. So Zone did pull most of the probes to safety, but not all of them. But you can see the downsides, the weakness of not properly protecting your probes against tank drops. You gotta really, you know, cover every single spot in your base somehow, in some way. Because players like Byul will, you know, find a spot right there or right here, maybe right here, to land a tank and kill your probes. So you always have to just play as if they will always find. Better to be overprotective than try and cut corners against these players. Which sounds weird because Byul is cutting corners everywhere in order to speed up his own economy, speed up his own gameplay. So to say and claim that you have to cut corners or cannot cut corners against him is weird when he is doing it against you. It sounds weird, but you just cannot take the risk. Not against Byul's Terran. So we have a Corsair's drop. There's a Corsair coming over the top side. We have still have that same shuttle there on the bottom corner. He's waiting. The thing he's probably going to try to do here is he's going to fly in with a bigger drop. And while the bigger drop is killing stuff, he goes in with the other drop. Or he is joining them together. It looks like he's just joining them together. I thought too much. I thought too far ahead. Yeah, he's just joining them all together. Like, sometimes it is better to leave, like, one shuttle with some High Templars in the back and send it in later on, unload, storming on the Marines, Reavers on the scene, SCVs running to safety, kills a couple of SCVs, but pretty much everything is ran to safety, and now there's bunkers with Marines, and Marines from the side stimming in to kill whatever has unloaded, and that drop from Zone, while a very good drop, like the execution was crisp and clean, Byul didn't make a mistake on the defense, pulled his SCVs to safety, still has 72 of them left alive, which is kind of the perfect number. Only mining from 6 refineries, 4 more ready to go. He has 2 very late armories. Like, his armories are very late. So he will be behind on upgrades compared to Zone, who has 1 armor, and is now... How many forges does he... Wait. He's getting forge number 2. I really thought that Zone would already be getting a level 1 attack, a level 2 armor, but he only has level 1 armor, no attack upgrades. He's got level 1 shield there, though, so he did get the shield upgrade just now. So he did get something. I guess he's focusing on keeping whatever he unloads for the drop alive longer, because ultimately you want the Templar or the Reaver to hit the SCVs, and if they die immediately, yeah, that's not going to work. If you get some armor and shield upgrades, maybe the Reavers and the Templars stay alive for a little bit longer, maybe your success rate of those drops is going to be higher. But I do think he's going to need attack upgrades at some point, though. Because there's no cannons on the middle. He's building cannons on the middle, but there's no cannons on the middle yet. So if Byul decides to counterattack, you know, there's nothing stopping him from doing it. Other than not having any upgrades on his tanks yet. Flies over the bottom side. Byul loses the Reaver instantly. There's no High Templar. There are High Templars. The High Templars are storming. High Templars are killing about 14, 15, 16, 20 SCVs do go down. And the remaining Templars don't get a storm off on the SCVs. They all just die there on that corner. Didn't really do too much. There's a lot of tanks there, a lot of Marines, a lot of bunkers, a lot of damage coming down on the High Templars, and the High Templars didn't stay alive for too long, or long enough. And the tanks did their job. But yeah, he did lose 20 SCVs, which is, I would say, the first successful attack from Zone. The first successful attack from Zone. He's getting interceptor capacity, so he's probably planning on going to carriers at some point. He's got double cybercore as well. That's gotta be... No, he's only gonna stay on double forge, getting armor and shield. Drop comes in there over the left side of Byul's base. Byul is stemming his Marines into the fray. Oh, and the High Templars. The Templars do storm, but it storms an empty patch. Wall there on the side. Hits them, but they survive. SCVs are beefy boys. Kills a couple of them, though, with a Zealot. The Zealot there getting hit by tank shots, killing a couple of them, worked out in his favor quite well. But yeah, he didn't really... I think he killed like 5 of them. I think he killed like 5 of them. Yeah. It's not great, killing 5, but it's something, right? Like, always gotta look at those silver linings. Black clouds, silver linings. Sometimes you just don't exactly get the results you want, but you gotta take what you can get. So the pylon there in the front went down. There's a couple of cannons that are waiting. The cannons have nothing to fire on because they just can't fire. They've got no power. And so what is happening is Byul is taking this moment in time to push out across the map and deny some control for Zone. Oh, he had a scan there on the shuttles as they were leaving the base, snipes them all. This is a classic Byul Minchel brain thing, where they just fly around with scans and raids to find the shuttles. Like, they scan, find the shuttles, and then fly with the raids to kill those shuttles. Which makes it very hard to land those drops if your opponent is ready to intercept them. It's very difficult to do. But it's not easy to do either. Like, Byul really has to be on top of everything. So Byul is being a little bit slow here, and that's largely because his attack upgrades are only now kicking in there on his ground. He's still in 1-1, gonna be on 2-2 for air very soon. He's getting 2-2 for ground at the moment. Yeah, so the attack upgrades have finally kicked in. Usually they're kicking at about 12 minutes. He was very late with the armories, but he's got the 1-1 now, and he knows that Zone doesn't have great upgrades himself either. Goes in with the shuttles, targeting the shuttles with the raids. He's one-shotting the shuttles, and everything dies before he arrives. So Zone is in trouble now. Zone is in trouble. He's got some carriers on the way, but he needs Templars, specifically Templars, against this tank marine army. He really, will the Templar Storm Zealots are marching as well. More Templars coming from the back to the front to try and assist, but they still need some energy. Stormjet again. Couple more. Tanks do die pretty quickly to storms. Like, it's even a thing in professional play the past few years where they moved away from Arbiters into using shuttles with 4 Templars in them to just storm tanks to Kingdom Come and win games that way. Arbiters are kind of out of the meta in professional play, and you can see it in fastest map as well, where shuttle storm is just really good against these pushes from Terrans. You really have to mix them in. The 2-2 is almost done there for Byul. We have 0-1, 1-2-1 there for Zone. He's getting level 2 shield and weapon at the moment. He only has double forge. It really bothers me. I'm not sure what his air upgrades are on because I can't see at the moment. I just can't see what his air upgrades are. I know he has 1 armor, I assume 1 attack as well. So 1-1, maybe 1-2, I don't know. No, it's 1-1 for air. So both players are pretty much on the exact same upgrades. Unloading some zealots on top of the tanks, great move there. Something you gotta do. As long as there's no anti-air in the mix, like no Goliaths, no turrets, you can do that. We have Lockdown on the way there for Byul, somewhere around here from his... I cannot find his science facility. Cannot find it, but I do know that Ghosts are on the way. A couple of them are already finished up, waiting for energy. And he's getting a lockdown. We have the world's smallest carrier army flying in to try and buy some time. He decided against building more. He got 1 more, but he's not building like a huge fleet for them. He's using the cover of the interceptors to unload some zealots on top of the tanks and maybe trigger some mines, or just to get AoE damage from other tanks onto the tank that Byul has here in the front, just to buy himself some time. Also, he's preparing a big drop with the Reavers, but I think Byul knows it's there. Oh wait, Byul finds an opportunity to hit the carrier in the front. Really well done. He has no observers in the front. Raids are fighting without really taking much damage whatsoever. 1 carry is almost dead and gone. He needs some shield batteries there to heal it up. But there's so much going on right now. So much pressure from Byul through this choke point. Defending this might not be possible. He's got some observers now here hanging in the front, like 2 of them right there. He's got some shuttles there ready to go with some Corsairs. Raids are being pulled forward, and the raids are dying. That was not Byul's plan, but Goliaths are coming in to replace the raids and continue raining down the DPS there on the carriers. You've got a big drop there over the bottom side of the map. He has lockdowns. You can see this because he has vision with this engineering base. Very annoying there for Zone. Very good and beneficial for Byul. Waiting for the lockdown to go. Oh, he goes in there with the double shuttle or single shuttle? Single shuttle. Unloads the Reavers. Gets the Reavers and the shuttle all locked down. No damage for you. He should have maybe brought 2 shuttles or 3 shuttles, maybe 4. Like, he still has a couple shuttles here back at home. But he didn't know about the Ghost yet. So it's understandable that he did not. You do not expect the Ghost to already be there most of the time. They usually come kind of as a surprise. Oh, the carriers are just getting melted. Byul is really just making this look a little bit easy. He's really just shutting Zone down in every single way imaginable. This is more testament to how clean, precise, and smart Byul plays, because Zone is doing the right things. Zone is doing the right things, it's just Byul is shutting everything down. Byul has been scanning like an absolute madman, keeping information into and in his hands at all times. He's always gathering information. Nothing slips past, and it just keeps countering what Zone is doing perfectly. And the carriers are buying time. He's doing his best. He's doing his utmost best. More carriers are on the way. A total of 6 of them. He's got about, I'd say, 11 Stargates. But Byul is pushing forward so quickly that he might not be able to even use all those carriers anytime soon because they still have to build those interceptors, and the ones that are here are taking massive damage and are losing their interceptors. He has some coursers in the mix, but the raids are gone. It's all Goliaths now and turrets are great against interceptors that don't yet have level 3 armor upgrade or shield upgrade because they're on 2-3-2. They are working towards level 3 armor and 3 weapon, but it will still take about, I'd say, 20 to 30 seconds before it's there. Tanks on 2-2, soon to be on 3-3, Goliaths on 3-3 are very strong. A lot of damage are coming in onto the carriers. Carriers are getting target fired yet again. And one of them is going to go down. Retreats. Lockdown's coming in, gets a carrier, gonna get another one. Nope, the carriers are too far away now. Gets a shovel instead. More carriers are spawning in the backside there. He's trying to build a proxy base, but the proxy base is within vision of these engineering bays, so that's not gonna work either, and it might already be too late to get those proxy gates to produce anything of meaningful impact. Yeah, he just calls GG. Like, Zone tried every single thing that he had to try. Maybe he tried the wrong build order opening. That's something I gotta add in. He might have tried the wrong build order opening, but he tried all the correct moves, all the correct things. Even the execution on most of those things was fine. Notice how I'm saying it was fine. It wasn't perfect. It was fine. Because Byul played perfection to perfection. All of his moves calculated, informed, well planned out, and with immaculate control. Made no mistakes. He started the game cutting a lot of corners, taking risks, and you know what? Taking those risks at the start made the game very difficult for Zone, because Byul was always, economically speaking, right on his tail. This all comes down to that very early command center there, going completely unpunished, because you know, he just built Triple Depot in the front, and Zone, I think Zone should have pivoted into Dragoons. Just go for the 6 Dragoons and push through that choke point, kill the supply depots, and punish Byul for skipping out on pretty much every single unit he had to make in the early game. I think Zone misread at the start, and while his choice wasn't wrong, it wasn't the most optimal. And you could argue that if you don't go for the most optimal choice, then your choice is wrong. But fastest map, 1 versus 1, is you got a lot of freedom to go your own specific pathway. There are multiple correct answers. It just happens to be that Byul, you know, knew what the answers were beforehand. It's RGB from RGB TV. And this is one of those rare videos that I don't make too often anymore, but Byul has 1 win on the board, and we got a couple more games ready to go very, very soon.